In the bustling halls of Maplewood Primary, a young boy named L found himself on the cusp of something that would change his life. He was quiet, reserved, preferring to watch the world unfold from the corners of his fifth grade classroom. That's when he noticed her for the first time, Treya. Treya had an energy about her, a warmth that seemed to pull people into her orbit. She was talking animatedly to Jesund, Elle's closest friend, and though Elle usually kept his distance from new faces, he felt something stir inside him as he watched her laugh. A small, unfamiliar hope bubbled up within him. What if she sat beside him? What if they became friends? Fate, it seemed, had other plans. Or maybe, just maybe, fate was listening. One morning, as their teacher rearranged the seating chart, Elle's heart raced when she pointed to the seat beside him and called Treya's name. Without showing the storm of excitement inside, he watched as Treya walked over and sat down, smiling as though they had known each other forever. Eshwar, another student, was also moved to sit near them, and the trio quickly fell into a comfortable rhythm. They laughed about homework, shared their lunches, and soon the three of them became inseparable. But then came the question, one that would shift the course of Elle's life forever. It was a rainy afternoon, and the three friends were huddled near the window, talking about crushes and secrets. Eshwar, always the bold one, leaned in and asked Treya who she liked. She hesitated, her cheeks turning pink. Elle held his breath, not expecting to feel anything, but hoping, maybe, just maybe. Finally, Treya whispered, Ben. Ben, the most popular boy in their class. Elle felt his heart sink, though he forced a smile. It was just a crush, he told himself. But when Treya and Ben started dating, Elle couldn't help but notice how the world suddenly felt smaller, darker. He and Eshwar became the messengers, ferrying notes and smiles between Treya and Ben, always there, but never quite seen. Elle kept his feelings hidden, buried so deep that even he tried to forget they existed. But then came the day everything changed. Ben, grinning as always, pulled Elle aside one afternoon. I asked Treya if she likes anyone else, just for fun. Elle's stomach twisted, unsure of where this was going. Guess what she said? Ben continued. She said she doesn't like Eshwar's character much, but she likes you, Elle. Those words, they hit Elle like a lightning bolt. His heart swelled in a way it never had before. Treya liked him. Maybe not like she liked Ben, but she noticed him. For the first time, Elle allowed himself to imagine what it might be like if she was his. Suddenly, every glance, every laugh they shared felt like a secret moment just between them. He began to pay more attention to her, every detail, every gesture. The way she twirled her hair when she was nervous, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. Elle's feelings grew, and what was once just a quiet admiration turned into something deeper, something undeniable. But he didn't say a word. By the time they reached sixth grade, Treya and Ben had broken up. Elle was relieved, but still couldn't muster the courage to tell her how he felt. Instead, he crafted a mask, pretended to have a crush on another girl just to throw off suspicion. His friends believed him, but inside, every smile he faked felt like another piece of his heart breaking. For 2 years, he carried the weight of his secret, always close to Treya, but never letting her see the truth. The bond between them only grew stronger. They talked late into the night about life, about dreams, about fears they wouldn't share with anyone else. Elle found himself falling deeper and deeper, but always kept his feelings locked away, convinced it wasn't the right time. Then, at the end of 8th grade, after their last exam, something inside Elle snapped. He couldn't hold it in any longer. As they walked out of the classroom, he turned to Treya, heart pounding, and said the words he had been holding in for years. I love you. Before she could respond, before he could see the look on her face, he walked away. He told himself he knew how she felt, that she loved him too, and the fear of hearing anything different made him run. But things changed after that. In 9th grade, they were placed in different classes, and Elle found himself avoiding her, terrified of what might come next. He never asked her for an answer, never sought out the truth, and slowly the distance between them grew. Yet even with all that space, his love for her never faded. He carried it quietly, like a shadow that followed him everywhere. Years passed. By the time they reached the end of 10th grade, Elle still hadn't heard her answer. 5 years and still no reply. But he couldn't let go. He loved her silently, from afar, never letting anyone know the truth. His friends thought he'd moved on, but inside, El knew his heart still belonged to Treya. And as time went on, he began to wonder, had he missed his chance? Had he been too afraid to hear the truth? Would he spend the rest of his life loving someone who might never love him back? But even in the uncertainty, even in the heartbreak of not knowing, Elle couldn't stop loving her. Every memory they shared, every conversation, every laugh was etched into his heart, and even if she never said the words, he would carry that love with him always. Because sometimes love doesn't need an answer to exist, it just is.